I'm going to transition you into the deck, let you talk about this. In the meantime,
Okay.
I'll take a little break.
Okay. I will let you move out. Right. So this matchup, as I said, is one I have a vested interest in. Pepijn and I have tested a lot together. Let me close the door. Pepijn and I tested a lot together, including this deck. And it is interesting. But first and foremost, let's talk about the deck that you see on screen right now, which is Temur Elementals. So, Temur Elementals is very straightforward. Every single creature in the deck is an elemental. Risen Reef, that you saw be okay in the last matchup, will be a lot better here because once it's in play, every other creature that enters the battlefield will trigger again, will get you another card or another land in play. Now, as far as the aggression goes, he has Creeping Trailblazer to make his whiteboard of elementals stronger. The 4-mana 4/3 that gives him trample. There's a lot of pressure here coming from the elementals deck to take out the opponent's life total. Now let me just switch on over to the Wet Jund list. There we go. Okay, so this is Gates, but not quite Gates, as we saw it in the previous meta. So you have your Gate Colossus, your Gatebreaker Rams, your Gates Ablazes to take care of opponent's threats and put some pressure on yourself. But the package next to it with Arboreal Grazer will allow you to put more gates into play earlier. And next to that, it's just a bunch of removal and discard. So it's really trying to take the modern Jund concept with Gatebreaker Ram fulfilling the role of Tarmogoyf, and then a bunch of removal and targeted discard to take care of that. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup because it's a very classical aggro versus removal package fight. It's going to be an uphill battle for Jund, since all of their removal spells, they can't really 1-for-1 because of Risen Reef, Cloud Concealer all making value when they enter the battlefield. So to mitigate that, they have access to Total of the Invasion and Gates Ablaze, but it's going to be really hard for Jund to take control of the match. I think what Elementals wants to see most is an aggressive opening with the Trailblazer. What Jund really wants to see is a lot of removal and definitely an early kill summit to keep on drawing those cards. Probably very crucial is going to be the fact that Pepijn... Wait, where did the main deck fungal infections go? Oh, there they are. 2 fungal infections in the main. Going to be very crucial to take out the Risen Reef and the Cloud Concealers. That being said, I think it's about time we start the match. Let's hide this away. And our players are now getting notes that they are allowed to start. Let me just scoot on into center frame there. And our players are drawing their opening hands. So Alan, a very, very known player in the Gentry environment, has won a Gentry Open way back in the Red Green Energy days. And this deck does kind of harken back to the Red Green Energy days. It gets a very strong board in play and really delivers a punch. But Pepijn does have a good answer to that. Okay, so Alan went down to 6. Pepijn stayed at 7 and opens with a Guild Gate. Surprise, surprise. Alan, no Adventurer's Impulse turn 1 to improve his hand. Pepijn, Arboreal Grazer. Put another Guild Gate into play and pass the turn. Wow, so Pepijn has no additional land here. This could get rough. He does have a 0/3 blocker in play now. So too bad Alan's not still playing Mono Red. Yeah, I think there is several reasons for that. Mono Red is not the absolute powerhouse that it once was. A lot of decks can really fight against it, and as you see here, Alan playing a Thornwood Falls illustrates what makes Mono Red a lot worse these days. The access to life gain lands. When your lands just incidentally gain you 4 or 5 life over the turn of a game, that's 2 extra burn spells that Red needs that can make it really difficult to actually overcome the life total. Oh, hey, look, Niels is back.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, and there it is, though. Pepijn gets his Guild Summit, and Alan has not put any pressure on. This is what I was talking about for Gates. Not what they want to see happen. There's the Risen Reef. Trigger. Not a land for Alan. Forest and the Adventurous Impulse. Let's see what he finds. See Cloud Concealers. I see an Overgrowth Elemental. That did not quite work.
Oh.
And he picks up... What is that card? Oh, it's the Adventurous Impulse to the side. Okay, so he picked up the Overgrowth Elemental. Wow, second Guild Summit for Pepijn. This is, as I said in the pre-match talk, this is what he needs. Just be able to keep on drawing cards to stop any and all threats that the Elementals deck is going to be representing. Now let's see.
So we already see people in the chat sad because Alan's not playing Mono Red. Mono Red's still very much a deck in Gentry right now, though.
Yeah, but not the powerhouse it wants us. And there it is indeed, the Fungal Infection to take care of the Risen Reef. Pepijn's deck is firing on all cylinders, doing what he wants to see here. I think we can, if we had an advantage bar, we could definitely pull it towards Pepijn's side right now. But Alan does have a pretty full grip to contend here. In no means is Alan dead in the water. One of Pepijn's rares, actually, Chandra Awakened Inferno, is not really great here. Because what it excels at is just entering the battlefield and wiping the board. But the board wipe side of Chandra says does 3 damage to non-elementals. Alan's entire deck, all elementals.
Yep.
But here we see the Toll of the Invasion, the Gentry version of Thoughtseize, taking away a Cavalier of Glades. No, that's blue. Cavalier of something.
Gales. Or
No,
is it the green one?
It's the green one, yeah.
Thorns.
Thorns. Cavalier of Thorns being taken away. Very important because that could spell trouble for Pepijn once it enters the battlefield because of its leaves the battlefield trigger, or the exile trigger that gets you back a card.
It really is the
There's the second Fungal Infection. Wow.
Yep. Pepijn really cleaning up, getting everything he needs here to answer whatever Alan is throwing at him.
And there in his hand is the card I mentioned, the Awakened Inferno. Now, I did say she wasn't good at clearing the board. What she is good at? Winning the game.
Wait, where did that card come from?
The Cloud Concealer.
Yeah.
From Alan's hand. He picked it up. He picked it up with Adventurous Impulse. No.
I just saw it coming from off screen and I was confused.
Oh. It was possibly still revealed. Maybe just kept it there so that Pepijn could see what was in hand. Okay, another gate. 2 more cards for Pepijn. And starts to swing in because
Evil Supreme.
he does need to win.
Yeah. Alan keeping... Oh yeah, he's on a higher life total. He can try and raise, I guess. Well, yeah, we don't know what else is in hand now.
For Alan, 2 Overgrowth Elementals are still in hand.
Okay,
That's
so
gonna
he
be-
has
Yeah,
he has the
definitely
power
has
to
the
raise.
power. Yep, for sure. Yeah, because 2 of those can really start getting your board big, and you have to focus them first or they will just get even bigger. Luckily, Pepijn does have access to Gates Ablaze to wipe it away entirely, but still.
It's interesting how this deck is pretty much as Wizards intended.
The Elementals deck?
The Elementals deck. There's some leeway in how you build it, but the core will usually stay the same. I find that very, very nice, especially for newer players to have this very recognizable core that they can build towards or have a deck with, which will completely survive rotation. So it's
which, to be fair, Pepijn side the same thing.
Yeah.
The Gates deck also has the surviving core. Less nice for new players because it is more difficult to build a good Gates deck because of the color requirements and because of the inherent slowness of the deck. But still, a very nice thing to still have access to. There's Overgrowth Elemental number 1, making the Cloud Concealer bigger. Oh, that's a Liliana on Pepijn's side. I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Liliana Dreadhorde General going to allow Pepijn to just keep on making threats, and it might be difficult for Alan to raise this because he needs to attack that Liliana, since the Liliana -9 will be game, set, and match. Well, no, not match, but...
That would be a pretty impressive an ability to have. Game 1, match is over. What?
Yep, so the Arboreal Grazer blocks the Cloud Concealer to protect Liliana, draws another card. Now, if you're Pepijn here, you probably just stay on the protect the Liliana plan, right?
Wait, the Grazer has reach as well?
Oh yeah, it's a 0/3 reach.
That
Oh yes.
thing is so broken.
Okay, let's see. What he could just go for here is play the Chandra, kill the Cloud Concealer. Your Liliana survives and you get to -9 at next turn. Oh, but he has a Chupacabra to take down the Overgrowth Elemental? What's your plan against the Cloud Concealer then?
He still hasn't used Liliana.
I mean, sure, but what are you going to do? -4? Then you don't ultimate. If you play the Chandra, kill the Cloud Concealer with the -2 ability, or well, -X for 2, then your Liliana just survives and you win off that. Why is it going down to 7? Oh, right, because it only upticks for +1. Very true. That does change a lot of things. Then you definitely -2, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was... Because he had put 2 extra counters on it, I was working on the impression that Liliana had a +2 ability, which would obviously make her absolutely busted.
Bad enough as it is.
Yeah. It is a very... Like, it's a... If you play this on an empty board and you... Yeah. You're very likely to run away with the game. But the Gatebreaker Ram closes it out. Alan has seen enough and scoops them up. He has some late game value, but not enough to beat the Gates core.
Alright, let's see what is being brought in here. We have Divest, Cyclotronic Rift, we have Fungal Infections, we have Healer of the Glade, we have Return to Nature, Obnixilis Cruelty, and a bunch of Duresses for Pepijn.
So
he wants to preemptively get rid of creatures
Yes.
and kill creatures for realsies.
Yes, absolutely. What I believe he wants to really bring in is 3 Divest and maybe extra Fungal Infections. The problem is there's not a lot you want to be cutting.
Exactly.
The core is very strong, so what I would probably go for is cut down 2 Toll of the Invasions to replace them with the Divests, because that's just straight up an improvement there. Then cut 1 Dusk Legion Zealot, because it's not the most important card for the 3rd Divest. And then just replace 1 Chupacabra with another Fungal Infection, since you have enough hard removal to kill your opponent's threats, and you can just Fungal Infection to snipe the Risen Reefs when it really matters. Alternatively,
is Angard's Rampage good enough?
Angard's Rampage, it's one of the very few ways he has access to of dealing with Planeswalkers. Which is the reason I think this is not coming out, simply because the opposing Chandra will also run away with the game, and he needs to really be able to clear that out of the way.
Yeah. Is he cutting his Chandra?
I don't think so. It might not be a board wipe, but it's still a removal spell, or 6 damage to the face, or a bunch of emblems that will just wipe your opponent's life total out in a couple of turns.
Yeah. I also don't understand the Rekindling Phoenix. It was good, but there's a lot of little exile effects now with Obnixilis Cruelty floating around.
I see what you mean, but the point is that you discard those cards before you play the Phoenix.
True.
The deck was constructed from the idea of Jund, modern Jund. So the idea is that your opponent just is so out of resources that your Phoenix can definitely win the game. And oh yes, absolutely, there is a Nicol Bolas. There's only 4 blue cards in the deck. It's Bolas and 3 Gate Summits, but wow, it is definitely strong. Now on the elemental side, because should not forget to talk about that as well.
Yeah. So we have Shivan Fire, Syncopates, Return to Nature's, the Volley, what's it called?
Sagittarius
Volley, Dive Downs, and Negate. So a lot of protection going on here. I see the Syncopates coming in.
Really?
Yes. And definitely Dive Downs and Negates.
I was thinking Dive Downs for sure. The problem is here the same thing. What are you going to cut from your elementals package?
Yeah. Well, you don't really have to. I mean, Lava Coil is
Yeah.
not so
No,
exciting.
it's just it would kill the Phoenix, but I would definitely take out the lava coils.
Yeah.
My sideboard plan here in Alon's Seed would be to cut the lava coils and the syncopate for 2 dive downs and 2 return to natures, and simply go for a really aggressive game plan.
What do you need to return to nature for? Just the guild summits?
Guild Summit and Gate Colossus, because Gate Colossus will just stonewall you to death. You just can no longer attack with that thing in play.
Hey,
No.
my just boy.
Sadly, Lars is not playing the Invitational this time.
No, let's have a quick look over at the bracket to confirm who is in. And we already know that Tom de Waal made it to the second round. So let's get that one in. There we go. Tom de Waal made it to the first part of the bracket.
Yeah, and we're about to see which one of these 2 competitors will be facing him. Pepijn did win the
not
first
this
game.
one.
Yeah. Pepijn did win the first game. Summary. Also, Niels, scoot over your outside the screen.
He keeps pushing me away. That's not true.
You went on a break.
That's dude, nature's call.
We were on a break!
What?
Oh, come on. You've seen Friends, right?
I have friends, yes. We're on a break. Somebody else has seen friends.
Thank
in the
you.
chat.
Thank you.
Okay, and we are good to go for game number 2. Pepijn 1-up, had the closing Gatebreaker Ram, the beater. That it's just such an awkward thing to see in front of you. Like early game, it's like, hi, I'm a 5/5 and I'm here to ruin your day. And then late game, it's like, hey, kill me or die.
And it has vigilance and trample.
Yes.
It's a honestly, Gatebreaker Ram is the definition of a pushed card.
For Gentry, definitely.
Well, yeah, sure. It's probably too strong for Gentry in its own right, but just from a card design perspective, it just does too much for its cost, I believe. If it was colorless green, for example, would have been a lot more understanding. Or even colorless red-green, depending on how you want to go. But yeah, Alan going up to 21 with the Rugged Highlands. Pepijn, Golgari, Guildgate. Leafkin Druid to ramp Alan up to his bigger elementals. And trying to figure out what the correct line of play is here. Divest to start off with. What does Alan have access to? It is 2 dive downs, so he definitely agreed with us there. 1 Overgrowth Elemental and a Chandra Awakened Inferno.
Yep. Only can take the Overgrowth Elemental here.
Yeah, that's the only lethal target, but knowing about 2 dive downs is very, very crucial.
Yep.
Knowing that Alan does have access to his protection. Wow. And he has all the time in the world to find an answer for the Chandra, because Alan is at 4 mana with no additional mana in hand. So Pepijn knows that he has all the time in the world to just prepare his own board, because Dive Down is very good against target removal. What it doesn't do is save your creatures from a Gatebreaker Ram. And oh look! There he is!
What a surprise!
The Gatebreaker Ram as a 6/6 Vigilance Trample already.
It's turn 5. Come on.
3. That was Pepijn's turn 3.
No, it's turn 5.
What?
Yeah, he has 3 tapped gates to pay
true.
for no one.
But no,
I know, but
Grazer's
was
at 4.
4.
It's turn
Yeah.
4 then.
Yeah.
Wow. So wax across for 6. Alan takes it like a champ, goes down to 16. Gates ablaze to take care of Alan's elementals and his mana.
Yeah, this looks dire.
Yeah.
Alan
Alan's gonna
doesn't
need-
really have the tools to fight back against a Gatebreaker Ram.
Omnat plus lands might have done that, might have gotten there, but Ram will
Just
take him
goes-
down to 6.
Or sending my Ram.
Wow, second Ram. Alan
Yeah,
scoops them
there's the
up,
handshake.
and that was fast. Wow.
Tarmogoyf wins.
Tarmogoyf wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have the
Okay.
closing interview. I'm going upstairs to have a look at the lights because we have some glare that we want to fix.
Okay, man. I will be waiting on Alan. But wow, that was a beating. That game 2 was just... whew. Jun doing what Jun does best. Alright, now there we see the sideboarding that the Pepijn did. Okay, yeah, so it was similar to what I said, though he did take out the Angret's Rampages, wasn't scared of the Planeswalker for Nicholas's cruelty, can totally see that. He took out all 3 Toll V Evasion for Divest, which is definitely a play. I was out of screen. Definitely a play. I don't know if it was quite correct, but you definitely want to bring in the 3 Divest, though, as you saw. It can just be so... My chair is sinking. Excuse me. The chair was sinking. Right. Okay. Yeah, so the matchup played out one of the ways that I had foreseen. Jund just really junding them out. Yeah, it's... If you're new to Modern, if you don't know what Modern Jund does, this is what it does, only faster and more efficient. Play a cheap, big threat that gets bigger in the late game. That gets bigger in the late... Thank you, Alan. It gets bigger in the late game and just protect it with a bunch of removal, a bunch of discard spells. It really did do what Jund does. Alright, we should be getting Alan anytime soon. Yeah, I don't know how to fill that space anymore. I'm not Koba, I'm not as good at it as he was last time. This chair is gonna be the death of me. This thing is so wobbly. There we go. Hello, Alan.
Hi.
That was a beating, that game 2.
How was that a game? Yeah, my deck did nothing.
Yeah, it
Nothing
was,
at all.
You finally got the mana, some multiplayer threats, and then just Gates
Yeah.
Ablaze swept it away.
Yeah, I knew I was playing into a Gates Ablaze,
Mhm.
but I had to.
You were so far back, the
Yeah,
Gatebreaker round was just
I
gonna kill you.
needed to get Chandra in play
Yeah.
to be able to just to kill one of the
Yeah, and
rounds.
at the point you could have gotten Chandra and play, even without the Gates Ablaze, it would still have cost you the entire Chandra just to take down
Yeah,
one
of
ram.
course I
Yeah,
know.
it was a very bad position for you to be in at that point.
My opening hands weren't that good either,
No.
and
Game 1 very slow out of the gates.
yeah, but I knew from the first Guild Summit, I
Yeah.
knew it was a bad matchup for me,
Yeah,
because Gates is very bad against tribal decks.
yeah, exactly. You just wipe away the board. You can start reassembling, but you need that critical massive elemental in the deck, so that didn't
Yeah.
quite work out for you.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk just a little bit about sideboarding,
Mhm.
because Niels and I had a disagreement about what you wanted to bring in. Did you consider bringing in Return to Nature?
Yeah, and I did.
You did, okay, yeah.
Just
So Return to Nature, dive downs,
for the summits, maybe for the
Colossus.
Colossus.
Exactly, that's what I thought as well. Bring in
Yeah.
some dive downs, bring in some Gate Colossus, just to disrupt your opponent's game plan while you're just beating hard.
And
Yeah.
a lot of counters also, but yeah.
Yeah,
You have to see them, you have
Mhm.
to get perfect hand against something like that.
exactly, and the problem is that they will turn one and return two, try and divest the residue, strip apart your hand, know exactly what to play around. Same thing here. He knew that he didn't have to try to remove them because the double
Yeah.
dive down just
Yeah.
go for the rams, and it paid off.
Yeah, true.
It's Gentry Jund.
Yeah.
Oh wow, the next people are already there.
Yeah.
Well, Alan, I will thank you for your time, and see you next time.
See you next.